call here. We got Unit 4 in the house. Take care, man. I appreciate you. Do a little twilight golfing. That's awesome, man. Hello, Ranger 10. How are you? Yep, had some fun getting some trigger time. Hello, Brian. How are you, sir? Dirt Tracks in the house. Got Lynn Holt in the house. Yeah, as far as my stance, don't have an ACL. I'm not complaining, on the chat, or excuse me, on the, being able to go and shoot. Hello, Scott. How are you? It's a little tough on the knee, kind of because it's an awkward stance and I can't bend my knee right yet. I mean, to the side, because when you don't have an ACL, you don't have the pivot. That's what happened, so when I try to turn my leg out like I normally shoot a little bit, the knee is just kind of dropping down. There's nothing hanging on to it. So it just feels really weird. So, and I'm going to get used to it. I'm not complaining, but it's just very weird. Also, I wanted to get y'all's opinion. I know we've got 10 people on here. We've got 3 thumbs up. Y'all can smash that thumbs up. And I'll wait a little bit before if we decide to do this. But do y'all want to see some knife box openings on a live? I can't do, the pew-pews. But I do have some knives here that were sent in. So if y'all want to see some knives that are, opened, and I'll tell you the company and all that. They're all from the same company. And I've known these guys for a while. So they sent these in for me to review. They're actually really good prices. They're not crazy over the top prices, but one of them's really, really unique. And it's just very different. So I figured y'all might like it. And, like I said, I want to help them sell some product. I'm not making anything. These knives were sent to me, though. I'm 1,000% honest with everybody, but they're not paying me. None of that. I'm just going to review the knives, beat them up, see what I think about them, stuff like that. So, and I can tell you some of the features about them, but this is pretty much the first time I'm opening them up. So if y'all want to see something like that, let me know. But tonight, we got to kick this off. Got a little Buffalo Trace, not a little, but quite a bit. I need it. So cheers, everyone. That was a good first drink. But anybody, but I enjoyed going and shooting. Shot the Shadow 2 Compact, as y'all know, the Shadow System CR920 XP, and the Staccato C2. Y'all haven't seen that video yet. But I was kind of rusty with all 3 of them. I'm just being honest. I hadn't pulled a trigger in 4.5 months prior to that. So it was, it's not like I forgot how, but it was just very different. So, with the grip and, the placement and really the stance. So, that was the first time. I'll get it all dialed in. So I should get better, hopefully, fingers crossed. But, and again, I did, before I went, I did use the Apex lube, just because they had been sitting for a while. I hadn't shot them. So I did make sure the oil was on there good, or still on there. So I opened them up and it still had oil and grease in it. And I had already shot those guns. Just to let you know, all 3 of those guns had been dirty. I hadn't cleaned them. So I reshot them dirty, and I still haven't cleaned them. So I'm just not the cleaning freak, but I do believe in oil. Hello, Lake Ozark guy. How are you? Rich B is in the house. Would you rather watch a tree grow or a Negro? Oh, that's not very nice. All right, Ranger, get him. Not very nice. But anyway, so we can get into the, because GAA, we don't do that here. So if you're going to do some goofy stuff, we don't have time for that. Yeah, you got him. Pistol Pete got him. But so it was fun to go up there. I saw some of the guys. The time that I went, they were not busy, which was good because I kind of didn't think they would be busy at that time. So I went in there and, I think there was only maybe like one guy in there with me. So it was kind of quiet. And then another guy came in as I was getting ready to leave. Hello, Norwood. How are you? Scott saying, tried shooting my SAR K2 and first mag or two went okay. And then it became a Jam-O-Matic. Gonna try and shoot it again. I polished the shit out of the feed ramp in the chamber and lubed again. Wow. That's crazy. Well, hopefully it fixes it up. Maybe it was just the feed ramp was causing the issue. Even the outside of the barrel feels very rough, almost like Parkerized. That's rough. Wow. Parkerizing. Yeah, I played with a SAR a long time ago. I didn't shoot it. I just played with it. Threat Cadre, he actually has one on his video. He's got a short, I think a YouTube short, where he's shooting one at 25 yards. He's testing one. He's like at 25 yards, I think, and doing headshots. So, for the price, he says his is pretty hard to beat. I don't have any real experience with them personally. Let's see. Rich B says, how do you store your handguns in your safe? Let's see here. For maximum storage, use stands, lay them flat on the shelves. I just chunk them in there. No, I'm joking. I've got some shelves in the safes, and I've got those little bags on the door where I stick some of them in there. When they're loaded, I leave a lot of them loaded. I leave them in the holster and then slide the holster in some of those pouches. And then actually some of them are in the holsters and they're stacked on the shelves, and some of them are even stacked on top of each other. So that's kind of how I do it. I'm not real, they have to be perfect and it's got to be a pretty inside the safe. I'm not that guy. Wasn't seeing the chat, restarted the video, now seeing it all. Okay, cool. Hello, Clyde Cumberland. How are you, buddy? Scott says, yeah, I've never heard of anybody really having any major issues with them. Maybe I just got a lemon that needed some work. Yeah, it could just need to be polished up. I mean, like I said, from everybody that I've talked to, they say they go bang and they haven't had really any problems with them. But that's only maybe a sample of 3 people that I personally know. So I don't know. I just don't have any experience with them myself. Okay, I saw my video on Instagram. Oh, did you put a video? Well, I don't do Instagram. I didn't know you did. Do you do YouTube, Scott? Or just Instagram? Because I don't do Instagram. I do X if anybody's interested. I don't really have a lot of, I put a bunch of videos and pictures and stuff like that over there, but I don't really have a lot of followers, I guess is what you call them, or people or whatever. So it is what it is. Scott says, used to do YouTube videos by deleting everything after one of my family members freaked oh, yeah, I hear you there. Man, we only have 12 people in here. I thought we would have more than that. But again, I appreciate, the 12 people. But yeah, and I figured that, if y'all want to see these knives, we can open them up and look at them. I think they're pretty cool. And for the price that you buy them for, and I'll include a link after the video, but you can buy these on Amazon, also on the actual brand name website. They sell them as well. So, I guess whichever one you want to do. So, but, and they don't just make knives, and I will let you know they're made in another country. They're not made here. Do you pay attention to your Facebook, Big J? I've never had Facebook in my life, or fake book is what I call it. Never had a Facebook account ever. So I don't really have, any experience with Facebook either. So I'm very limited on the social media that I do. So, hello, Chris. How are you? Chris from the 740 is in the house, and hey, he's got experience with SAR too. I've seen some of his videos. Oh, there's a page on there. What's the page on there? Is it about me? Oh, you mean you have a page on there. I gotcha. I thought you meant that I had somebody put a post on me on there. Only got Facebook for Marketplace. Yeah, my wife is addicted to Marketplace. She just likes to look at all this stuff. So I'll ask her, what are you doing? Oh, I'm looking at Facebook Marketplace. That's the only thing she has it for as well. Yeah, I mean, oh, someone has a page pretending to be you. Really? Wow, Scott. That's crazy. Um, damn, I don't know how you could post it. Well, I've got an email on my profile. If you want to email me the link or whatever, I'd love to check out who's pretending to be me. Is it gun related, car related? Because I do have some old car videos that I heard a buddy posted them somewhere. I know he posted a video on YouTube when I was racing. And I think he put some shit on Facebook 1,000 years ago. But if it's gun related, I have no idea who that is. Yep, Chris got his first CZ. He got a P09 full-size Nocturne. So congratulations. What do you think about it? I haven't watched your video. Sorry, I've just been super busy with work and, you know, trying to get along. Yeah, what do you think about it? And I will watch the video, Chris. I just haven't had a chance to yet. You know what? I'm not much into box openings. I'm just going to be honest with you. I like shooting videos, or after shooting videos, what you think about it, you know, stuff like that. So, because I've seen all the box, you know. I used to do box videos way back in the day, but I don't really do box opening videos anymore. Pistol Pete says, hopefully a Shadow 2. They're great guns. Just left, looks like it got taken down. Well, good, because somebody was, that's not me. I don't do Facebook. So maybe somebody zapped him saying that wasn't the real Big Johnson. I did have somebody who hacked or who was posting videos on YouTube. And it was some of my videos, but it wasn't my name. It was like some weird name. It's probably from a third world country, but they were posting some of my older videos that had like 500,000 views and stuff, some old CZ videos. Somebody sent me that and said, look, this isn't you. And I was like, yeah, that's not me. So I reported them way back when. I haven't heard anything since. I don't know if they're still up or not under that other person. But yeah, these are some knives that were sent to me. There's 3 of them. So they're not in any particular order. And I'll tell you what they're made out of. Like I said, I haven't really taken them out and played with them, carried them, or anything like that yet. But the company's name is Tiger. It's Tyger. I don't know if y'all have heard of them before. But, you know, it's kind of a cool little, just cardboard box, nothing special. It's got the little blade card in it and all that. And it says warranty, you know, blah, blah, blah. Again, these are made, you know where. Or actually, I'm sorry, these are Japanese. A lot of these are Japanese steel. So, I don't know where they're officially, oh, okay, here they are. These are made in Taiwan, but it is Japanese steel. So here's the first one. And these are pretty beefy knives. So it is a G10 material. This is the, let's see here. This is a stone washed steel, tan, and they are G10 handles. It's the 3.6 inch blade wrapped with a 4.8 inch chiseled rock pattern handle designed to fit your hands comfortably. But this thing is heavy. It's very heavy duty. It has a really nice clip. The clip is not reversible, as you can see, so you can't reverse it. But it has one of my favorite blades in it. And when I saw this, I was like, yep, that's one that I want. It's a Tanto. So I love Tanto blade knives. And it's got a little thumb, you know, so you can pop it out. And it's got a liner lock right there. I did check the lineup, and it's kind of hard to see. I did check the lineup on it. It's actually perfectly centered. I'll try to show you the gap there. I'm kind of a knife nerd too. Y'all don't know that much about it, but the only thing I wish that it had, it's got jimping on the handle right here, but it has no jimping on the blade. So, like if you were pressing on it, I just wish there was some jimping here, but it's very smooth, and I know this is brand new, but I can tell after after you wear the bearing in, it's going to be able to flip. But it's not a flipper, but I meant it's going to be able to flip out. I've got XXL hands, you can see that it fits my hands perfectly. So that's a pretty cool one. The steel is Japanese, and it's AUS 8 steel blade, and this is the stone-washed AUS 8 steel. So, but the liner lock is nice, and it's freaking robust. I mean, it's beefy. So there's the first one. That's FDE. Got to put it back in here perfect so I can close the box. And this knife is only 69 bucks. Yeah, no, that's fine, Scott. You can send it to me. I told you could. No big deal. I get a lot of people sending me weird stuff, and a lot of it I ignore, but I'll answer yours. I get people hitting me up all the time. Oh, test this, test that. Here's another one. These are all, again, from Tiger. It's got your little thing here. And then this one, it's the exact same knife, but, oh, actually, okay. I need to rephrase that. I'll show you here in just a second. I couldn't see it on the other one. But this one is the black G10. So I kind of wish it has a black blade, and they do have a black blade as well that they offer on their website. The black with black would be pretty badass. But this one, it does have the little shelf, and it's also the Tanto blade. So it's the exact same knife. But where I was talking about on the clip, where it wasn't reversible, like to the actual other side, it's reversible down here. So you can carry point up, point down. So you would just reverse it on the same side. So, and you can do that with the other one too. And it's the same steel. This is the G10, it's the AUS 8 steel blade. So, and it is the stone washed as well. So, but that one's kind of cool. But again, I wish it was the black blade, because they have the stone washed and then they have the black one. But this one is this one's crazy. I'll show you this one. It's pretty wild. And it comes in a nicer box, and it's the little push out, this kind like this, little sleeve. But this one's the most expensive one that they offer. This one and that other one, the black one, was also $69. Now, this is the most expensive, but they have this version that's cheaper with just cheaper materials. But this is the top of the line. So on the box, it's got a little magnetic closure on it, a little flipper, so it's magnetic right here. But you open it, and it says the pinnacle of performance. So it's actually very nice, and all the instructions are in this really nice little envelope here. I mean, the presentation's really nice. And then it comes in this little bag. And the bag has a little notch in it right here where you can actually run a belt through it. If you want to carry it on your belt, I wouldn't, but if you want to do that, you can. But I'm going to show you this knife, and I want you to tell me what you think of when you see it. This thing is crazy. It's like tiny, but it's got a glass breaker on the tip of it right here. But check this out. This blade is crazy. Looks like a damn Cybertruck. Now this one is all titanium. So this one has the Japanese, this one has the Ultra Premium M390 steel blade, and the handle is titanium, and it's the Ti 64i-4V alloy. Sorry, I'm just trying to give you the information. It's got a really nice clip, and it's got a little pop, like so you can flip it right here. and it has a really heavy duty liner lock right here. So, I mean, it's really heavy duty. And this little sucker's sharp too. But like you hold it like this and you can flip it. It's kind of tiny for my hands, I'm just going to be honest with you. And it's super tight. So I got to work it in. But it's, and this is kind of like a little jimping handle right here, but it doesn't really have any jimping on it. It's just a flat spot. And it's got a little notch here for your fingers, so it kind of locks it so it doesn't hit the blade. It's got a little notch right there. But it's a cool little knife, but it's very, very, very futuristic. Yeah, and it's in there really tight. I mean, it feels super nice, but it's going to take a little bit to wear this out, or wear this in, I can tell. But this one is $159. The cheaper, the less expensive, they have one that looks exactly like this, but it's black, and I think it's like 69 bucks, 59 bucks. And again, it's the TYGER. But that one's kind of cool. So, and again, I would probably never carry this pouch, but I think it's cool that it's offered in a pouch, I guess. And there's another little tab if you want to put it on there that actually does have jimping. Another little pad, and it's kind of like a raised, it's kind of raised portion versus flat, so it does have jimping on this one, and it's titanium as well. So it gives you an option to change it. But it's the first time I've ever done a live, knife opening, something we can actually do. But let me know what you think about it. I'll do a review on these. I gotta beat them up a little bit. So, and again, I really don't do box openings, but I thought it might be kind of cool to do it on a live. So let me know what you think. If you want to see more of this, maybe we'll do some more going down the road. Reminds me of CKRT. Fully open, it does look like a Cybertruck, yeah. Yeah, it does look like a Cybertruck. When you go online, you can really see it. Let me catch back up. Oh, well, I did put out a short. I wonder if somebody reposted it maybe on, if somebody reposted my video on, if they reposted it on Facebook, maybe. I mean, it's a possibility, I don't know. Had some email saying my purchase was complete from Amazon, just deleted them. Huh, that's weird. Yeah, maybe somebody just reposted it. I like the black one a lot, yeah. Oh, damn. Am I live? Did somebody put me live on Facebook? I mean, I don't do Facebook, so that's weird if that's happening. But anyway, I thought that might be kind of cool. Y'all might enjoy it. But I'll be testing out those knives, seeing what I think about them. Again, I've only just opened the boxes and looked at them. I don't have any real world testing. Not making any money off selling them. But I tell you what, those G10 knives are very hefty. They've got a really good weight to them. Some people might think that they're a little bit too heavy to carry if you're a bigger guy and got a bigger hand. I mean, I don't think it would bother me. I carry some pretty heavy knives. YouTube was displaying you very weirdly, like you were doing a short video. Well, I'm on my phone doing a live, so maybe this is why. Huh. Okay. Sorry if it's doing something weird. I don't know. Yeah, we got 22 people on, 10 thumbs up. But yeah, I've had a lot of questions, more and more and more questions about what do I think about the CZ Carry? Should I buy it? Other people are like, hey, would you buy it? What do you think? Just so you know, I did play with one at Texas Gun Experience. So I physically put it in my hand, checked it, played around with it and all that. I will say this for me. Okay, this is just a me issue with XXL hands. Where the decockers are, it's got a left decocker and a right decocker, ambidextrous, of course, and they're really high on the top, kind of like where a 2011 safety would be. So they're very high. And when I put my hand on it to grip it, my thumb does want to ride on top of the decocker because I'm used to 2011s, 1911s. So you would want, that's where you would ride, is on the top of your safety, so you could flip it off and then ride it. That's the correct way to shoot a 1911, 2011. Well, of course, you can't ride a decocker, so you don't want to do that. So I would have to pull my thumb over onto the top of this one. So could I shoot it? I'm sure I could. It just kind of feels a little different because of where the decocker is located, and it's got two of them. Is that a end all be all? Not really. Is the trigger as good as the Shadow 2 Compact? I've had a lot of questions on that since I posted that picture. And it's not as good. And the reason being is because it has a decocker and it has a firing pin block. So is it good? Yes. It's way better than the P01. That trigger is way better than the P01 Standard and the P01 Omega. This is not an Omega system on the carry. A lot of people think it's an Omega system. It is not. So, it's not like a P07, so to say. So you've got the Shadow 2, hook. It's not the Omega setup. The trigger is nice. It has a little more take up and a little more creep, just a little more. But is it a good trigger? Yes. It's just not as good as the Shadow 2 regular carry, or Shadow 2 Compact, I'm sorry. Do I recommend it? Yes. I mean, you don't have any plates, so it's RMSC direct mill. The night sights are not night sights. They're just the glow until the illumination goes off, so to say. It feels good. I mean, of course, it takes the P01 CZ compact mags. So you would have mag compatibility for your full-size Shadow 2. The mags would just stick out the bottom. The lock grips for the carry will fit it. The thing I don't like, or I kind of wish it had, that it doesn't now, is where your safety is. It doesn't, you're not able to change and put a paddle on it for like an extended safety or even a bigger button. It's just got a fixed safety with no hole there. So where your compact, you can put the little paddle or whatever you want on there. Is that a a game changer or whatever, or a game killer or whatever you want to call it? No. I mean, I could still actuate it very easily. And you could put the mag well on it for the CZ Shadow 2 Compact, and you could put those grips on it, just not the extended mag well, or mag level. I'm sorry, the mag button. So if somebody's interested in that, I mean, I think it's a cool option. Will I get one? I don't know. I need to play around with it a little more. Again, I only finger banged it, and I had a very short time. I didn't want to tie up the guy, so I was just kind of playing with it real quick. I would want to, and I was doing it. They have it in a case, but it's not like where you can put the gun on a glass, where you could really start playing around with it. It was in one of their center stand-up cases. So, I had to put it on like an ammo box, and it was just kind of awkward with my knee and stuff, just being honest with you. So I was just, trying to play around with it a little bit, see what I thought quickly, and then give it back to him so he could put it back in the case. So, what's up, Pranic? How are you, man? Golly, y'all are blasting a lot of people. Oh, I saw your Korth revolver last week. Bitcoin, knowing you better put in for 2. No, that thing's way too much money for me. It's cool though. But, like I said, if somebody's interested in the Shadow 2 carry, I think it'd be a cool option for a lot of people. If you're used to a decocker, and if you don't have XXL hands, I don't even think the decockers are going to come into play for you or for the average hand person. This is just a me problem or a me issue, I think. And could I still shoot it? Yeah. But I'm just so used to, not having the decocker. I don't mind, manually decocking it to the quarter cocked position. Some people do, and I understand that. So I think that would be a great option for those people, just to hit the decocker and it does it all for you. So, you know, whatever it is or whatever y'all think. Yeah, was it 10 to 15K for that Korth? No, that Korth was 80. There was only like 100 of them made. I think it was like 80 something thousand, or, you know, I don't think I could say 80. It was like 80,000 doll hairs. TFB did that video. You can go watch it. They've got the price on it. 89 doll hairs, 89,000 doll hairs. Ranger said, I purged 2 more for my collection. Shadow 2 carry is on my radar. Cool, man. I think you'll like it. Remove the receiver. Sweet baby Jesus. Yeah, it was crazy. Like I said, there were only like 100 of them made, I think, and it comes like in this case, and it has like, because in some countries, they said they already had buyers. In some countries, they can't legally store their guns, so they've got like a hologram where you can show your buddies and your gun spins around with your serial number on it, and then you can go to your gun range and open your gun, you know, locker and shoot it and then keep it there. You have to keep it at the range in some of these countries. So that's what they were talking about. But anyway, that's one reason, you know, it's just so limited. That's why it's so expensive. Yeah, the Shadow 2 carry that I played with, it was nice. $210 are built with only a percentage coming to the US, 84K, yeah. Yeah. Does the Shadow 2 carry have the same grips as the compact? Could I put the ones you have on the carry? Yes. I just said that just a second ago. You weren't on yet, but I did. You can do that. So you can also put the magwell on it from the Shadow 2 compact. You can put the grips on it. You just can't put the little mag extension or the bigger mag button because it's a fixed button. So it's not the standard. It's the Shadow 2, or excuse me, it's the Shadow 1 button, not the Shadow 2 button. So it's a fixed button. You just can't put the little, you know, I don't run the extended ones. I just run the taller ones. But, you know, like I said, I think it's a nice gun. The one Scott says the one I played with, the trigger was heavier and greater than your standard PO1 trigger, and trust me, I have 3 PO1s. Yeah, then that's not a good one, because the one I played with was a lot better. So, you know, and I don't know what the serial number, if it's an earlier one, a later one, I don't know that. So, grittier. Okay, no, this one wasn't gritty. It, like I said, it had creep in it, quite a bit of creep, and it had a lot of take up. But that's the decocker, the firing pin. When you add those, a lot of that comes into play. And again, I'm not scared to carry a gun without a decocker. And I'm not saying scared. I don't want to be rude. You know, I'm just, it doesn't bother me because I carry 1911s, 2011s forever. So, what is the largest optic you would put on the Shadow 2 compact? I would put an MPS. I would put an Acro 2. The Acro P2. I do what I want. People don't tell me what to do, and if they say, oh, that looks stupid or whatever, who cares? I think a perfect optic for the Shadow 2 carry or the Shadow 2 compact would be the EPS carry or the EPS full size. Me, depending on the plate size, because I haven't measured it, like on the one that I have with the Impact Machine, I would put the EPS full size on it easily because I got the 507 and it works great. The only reason I have the 507 X2 on there now is because I had that optic. I've got tons of optics that I bought sitting in a box, and I had it on another gun. So this is the side plate, you know, version, the newer version of the 507C X2. And it was just in a bag. I just put them in little Ziploc bags and throw them in my box under this desk here. So, you know, it was perfect. I mean, the dot was great. and I was like, man, I don't have this on anything, and I put it on there, and I actually really like it. Matter of fact, I've got, and I bought this. I've got a plate here. I was thinking about doing this. Is for the Shadow 2. It's an Impact machine, and I purchased it. They didn't give it to me. And it is for the Acro P2 MPS. But you'll notice on this one, it does not have the rear irons, where the 507 RMR does have the rear irons built into the plate. So this one is, you would lose your rear irons if that's a concern for you. So I bought that plate thinking that I would change it to the MPS, because I've got an MPS sitting up there, an FDE one in a box that I haven't put it on anything since I bought it. I buy shit all the time and just have it there. So, but I would go with the EPS, and they do make a plate for that. So. Ranger says, I have a PO1 tactical, Scott, so you think I can tell what you're saying there, yeah? Yeah, it's really hard to beat the EPS. I mean, I really, really, really do like that optic. And I've got 2 of the EPS carries. I do not have an EPS full size, but I thought if I bought another Shadow 2 compact or carry, that I would put an EPS the full size EPS on it. That's what I was going to do. And the guns that I really, really like, y'all know that I at least have 2 of them. So I'm either going to buy another Shadow 2 compact or a Shadow 2 carry, and I probably will put the EPS full size on it. So I will buy another plate, or since I haven't even used this plate, I'll just switch it out with Impact Machine, just say, hey, can I switch a plate for a plate? And, I'll ask, but if I need to buy another one, I'll just buy another one. I don't like how they put the thin aluminum grips on it either. I actually like the rubber grips because of the palm swell. Yeah, and see, I don't mind the rubber that were on the PO1 originally with the palm swell. The only thing, I carry appendix. So the only thing I would have problems with is if you leave your shirt tucked out or you have your shirt tucked in, when you go to pull your shirt, like to grab it really quickly, it would actually hang, believe it or not, it would hang on the rubber grips because they're kind of tacky, and it would hang on there, so I couldn't rip the shirt up quick enough. With the aluminums, even though they're aggressive, the palm swells that I carry, I can get the shirt out of the way quickly, because I noticed also when I was just walking around doing normal stuff that the shirt, especially if it's like a dry fit shirt, it would kind of stick to those rubber grips, and it would kind of show that I was carrying. So I didn't like that. In the appendix position, I don't carry at the 3 or anything, so I don't know about that. But it doesn't happen with the even aggressive, the lock, what are they called? The jaws, the jaw grips. The super aggressive ones, I don't have a problem even with the shirts hanging on those, but I did with the rubber grips. So that's why I don't carry the rubber grips. And a lot of stuff stuck to them. Like I would have lint and all kinds of crap stuck to those grips, especially when it's hot. Glad says, I recently picked up a 4.25 M&P 2.0. I've been carrying the 4-inch compact for a few years now. If I knew then what I know now, I would have bought the full-size version instead. Fits the hand better. Yeah. I mean, if you can always carry a full size, I recommend it. I don't mind the carry. But it's whatever, fits your hand, whatever you like. I try to carry a bigger gun or a bigger size gun. Like the Shadow 2 compact, I really like it because it feels like a bigger gun than it really is. It's like a Glock 19 size, but it works really well with the Magwell from Lock. If y'all need any Lock products, you can use my code. It's BJGG10, all capitalized. Save you 10% off anything if you need anything from Lock. I shot the Shadow 2 compact. I shot the Shadow System CR920 XP. And like I said, I was kind of rusty with both of them because I just haven't shot them in 4.5 months. And then I shot the Staccato C2. I have not put out that video yet. But what I took those 3 guns for, because I wanted to see how I could do. I shot a double action, single action first. Then I shot a striker fire second. Then I shot a single action last. So I wanted to have those 3 trigger groups at the range to see how I did with those 3 trigger groups, because I haven't shot in a long time and I wanted to see how I would do with each trigger group. So I want y'all to guess between the double action, single action, the striker fire, and the single action trigger, which trigger group did I shoot best with? That's what I want y'all to tell me, because you haven't seen one of the videos yet. You haven't seen the C2 video yet. Okay, Harry Solster saying double action, single action. Ranger saying the rubberized palm swell seems to get a little gummy when it's hot and concealed carry. That's what I'm talking about, Ranger. They do get gummy. Mook says I shot the single action better. Pranic says same problem here with the rubber grips on the PO1. I carry it in the winter more. Yeah. They do get kind of sticky for me. And like I said, I had problems with them hanging up on my shirts. You know, it was just too sticky. Robert says single action. So far we've got 1 double action, single action, and we've got 2 single actions. So y'all keep guessing and we'll keep talking, because I will reveal it. Even though y'all haven't seen one of the videos, I will reveal it. Scott says I just replaced them with the G10 palm swells. Good choice. I love the G10. Pranic says DES or double action, single action prefer. Okay. So I guess he's saying I shot better with the double action, single action. But that's why I wanted to take those 3 trigger groups. And that's why I chose those 3 guns way back, even saying that when I go shoot, it's going to be those 3 guns, because they all had different trigger groups. I didn't want to take a bunch of single actions or a bunch of double actions or a bunch of striker fires or any of that. I wanted to, and like I always tell everyone, it's good to have different trigger groups so you're used to, or at least you're, I'm not saying you have to be a bullseye shooter, because I'm not, but at least you are, you know, competent with the different trigger groups. Mook says I'm more accurate with my Shadow 2 compact than my staccatos. That was literally the first thing I ordered for my 97 BD was a pair of G10 palm swells, because I did not like the aluminum. They were not aggressive enough. No, on the aluminum, they're very slick. You know, the stock aluminum ones. I've taken every one of them. I've got a pile of those things from all my CZs. The aluminum ones, the factory ones, they're just for show, you know, Instagram or whatever. They're kind of useless. That's why I do like the aluminum from Lock, if you're going to get the aluminum, and the brass. I do like those, because I've got the brass versions on my Tanfo stock 2, and they're the super aggressive ones, and I like the way they feel. They've got a good bite and a good weight to them. And I do have G10s also for my Tanfo stock 2. But I'll go ahead and let you know, out of the 3 guns, the Shadow 2 compact, the Shadow System CR920XP, and the Staccato C2, the best groups I shot were with the Shadow 2 compact. Now again, I haven't shot in 4.5 months, but that was the trigger groups, and the Shadow 2 compact was the very first gun I shot, and that was the best group out of all of them. The worst group, the worst group, and y'all will see the video shortly, I'll release it soon. The worst group was with the Staccato C2. I usually shoot lights out with the Staccato C2. I love that gun, it shoots great, but here is where, this is where I fell apart, okay? This hand right here, the left hand. I'm shooting it, my left hand is just on there. I'm not even smashing in. You can see I'm just laxy-daisy, and the groups are just like, I mean, they're just like this, and you'll see it on the video. I mean, I'll just go ahead and tell you, I'm like, holy shit, is my dot loose? That's what I said. I'm like, I'm shooting like I'm freaking handicap. I mean, literally handicapping the hand. I'm like, you know, I had a complete shit grip. And I call myself out on it in a video, and I show the good and the bad. Y'all know that. I don't hide anything or edit anything. But I shot like dog shit. And I'm like, what in the hell's wrong? And I'm like, wiggling the dot. And I'm like, is shit loose? You know, what the hell's going on? And no, it's because of my bullshit grip. So yeah, Harry's says, haha, I knew it. You're an old school DASI guy at heart. Yeah. Well, I mean, I love double action, single action. But that just goes to show, if it would have been a striker fire guy, you know, maybe he wouldn't have shot the double action, single action good. Maybe he wouldn't have shot the single action good. Or if it's a single action guy, maybe he wouldn't have shot the double action, single action good. You know, so right out of the box, I shoot the Shadow 2 Compact, perfect or good, and that's rapid. But also, I've got lock grips on there, which are molded to my hand. The Staccato is not. It's kind of round and chunky and square. But again, I'm not making excuses. But that Shadow 2 Compact with the lock grips fits my hand like a glove. The Staccato does not. However, in the past, y'all have seen it. I've shot that Staccato C2 great. I mean, I love that gun. And I even shot what was crazy, I even shot the Shadow Systems CR920 XP, the little skinny gun, better than I did the freaking C2. So I'm like, what in the hell's wrong with me? And I'm like, not in the video, but I'm like literally cussing myself, like, get your shit together. What are you doing? You know, so you'll see that video, but I don't hide anything. But I did have a redemption because I'm like, I got to see if it's the dot, because prior to this, after 2 years, I think it was 2 years and 2 weeks, my Aimpoint Acro P2 battery finally took a shit. And a lot of people say, oh, well, I've had them last longer, blah, blah, blah. But I keep my intensity up higher because I carry flashlights on it. And on that particular gun, I've got the X300, which is the turbo, which is super bright. So I keep the dot kicked up high because if I ever have to turn on that light, I don't want to wash out the dot. So I do keep the intensity high on that, but it lasted 2 years and 2 weeks, or maybe it's 2 years and 2 months, something like that. But anyway, I looked it up. I can't remember what I said. I told the guys. So I changed it, but I didn't remove it. I just took the cap off, put a new 2032 in there, and it fired up, went to the range, and did it. So I thought, man, the dot's loose or something's came apart, or the reticle detached or something. I was thinking, what the hell? But no, it was me. It was a shit grip. So that's what it was. Let's see. Harry Sulzer says, give me a Glock 19 if I haven't shot in 5 years. Just so much time behind them. Yeah. And I mean, I love shooting the Shadow 2 full size and of course the compact, but it's weird because I've shot the 2011 so damn good, but man, it really, I was like pissed off at myself. I'm like, what are you doing? I mean, it was a big wake up call. Now I'm just, you'll see the groups. Well, actually, I think in the video, I don't show it very well. So excuse me for that. But could I have taken somebody out with that group that I shot? Oh yes, I could. I mean, it was bigger than a fist, but it was, what was it? 16 shots or 15 shots, 16 shots, slightly bigger than a fist pretty rapidly. But where I was aiming, they were kind of down here. But I mean, you put that on somebody, they're toast, but it was just different. Harry Solster says ergonomics really matter. If you're rusty or inexperienced, still can overcome less than stellar ergos. I totally agree. And that Shadow 2 Compact with the lock grips and the magwell, it's got impeccable ergonomics for me. So, I mean, that's another reason I shot it so good compared to the others, I'm sure, because it fits my hand so damn good. Now with the stock flat grips, it sucks because it's too thin. But again, that's why I run lock. I've had great luck with them. But, that was really eye-opening for, again, 4.5 months of not shooting. What I want to shoot next, and I want my wife to go with me, is I want to shoot the PSA Rock, the full size, the 5.7. I've got a dot on it. I've got all, a light on it, all that crap. And I have a holster for it, but it's not a optic ready, or excuse me, a light bearing holster. It's just some It's some inexpensive holster Uncle Dan gave me, but it fits in there really good. Um, but yeah, I want to shoot the Rock. I want my wife to shoot it, see what she thinks about it. Because it's a fun, that Rock 5.7 is a very, very fun gun to shoot. I can put my mask, can on there. Um, and I can shoot it rapid. I can do all that other stuff. And it's just, it's very loud because it's 5.7, but it's a super fun gun. But I want her to shoot it because she loves 22s so much. She loves 22s and she shoots them really good. So that's why I want her to shoot the 5.7 to get her opinion on it and see what she thinks about it. Because as we all know, you're dealing with a center fire round on a 5.7 and you're not on a rim fire. So, it should be, I mean, I haven't had any failures with that Rock. It's everything I've put through it, it's shot. Harry Holster said, you see that Keltec launched a 5.7 sub 2000. Yeah, I did see that. Clyde Cumberland says, what's sitting beside you tonight? The Shadow 2 Compact? Nope. It is the Shadow Systems CR920 XP. It's right there. So it is, it's a great gun because when I go to PT and I go to the other places, I'm wearing like basketball shorts. And a lot of people are like, how do you carry basketball? Like you don't have a belt or whatever. Yeah, I do. Under my basketball shorts, and I've been doing this for years, or sweatpants or whatever it might be. I actually take my core belt, pull my shorts down, put my core belt around my hips where I carry in the position, put the gun in it, then pull my basketball shorts up over the gun and the belt, and it works great. A lot of people there's that holster, I can't remember the name of it, that, oh hell, who makes that? It's that one where you put the strap around you, and somebody in here will know it. But yeah, I just put the belt under the shorts, so there's no belt loops, but it doesn't slide down, it doesn't slide up. Yeah, the Enigma. I knew Harry would know it, the Filster Enigma. But I just used the core belt, over it, and then put the holster in there. Also Thunderwear, yeah. So that's what I've been doing. And what's funny is I was at PT. What was it? It was Tuesday. Yeah, it was yesterday. And they found out I was carrying because she was bending my knee up like really far. And, the shirt came up, so. But anyway, there's no signage, just letting you know. I wasn't worried about it. They weren't worried about it after they saw it. So. Has she shot the CP33 yet? No, she has not. And I do want her to shoot that too because I think she'd love it. Scott says, I wish PSA would remove that nub for the first finger groove on the Rock. It's annoying as crap out of me. I'm going to have to Dremel it off, yeah. What I don't like about the Rock, it bugs the shit out of me, is the freaking trigger guard. It's got that slant. So when you try to put a light up against it like an X300 or even a TLR1, you got a gap. And that bugs the shit out of me. And I'm not an OCD guy, but I'm just like, why the hell couldn't you have made it flat so I could, get the light up against it? So I got this weird little gap, and it bugs me. I'm just like, that's, it is what it is, but I don't like that. I tried multiple lights on it, and they all kind of look like dog shit. What's up, Donnie Cluck? How are you, buddy? Oh, yeah, and also Ranger, I talked to Donnie. He wasn't mad that you booted him. He wasn't mad at all. With that light of a gun, you can just tie the drawstring as long as you have the DCC clip. Yeah, no, I agree. But I like to have the belt because when I go to grab it, if I were to go and grab it and rip it, I might pull my drawers up above my head because I love DCC clips, but they freaking grab. So I might pull my freaking basketball shorts up around my chest. So that's why I like the placement of the belt better. But I know that you can do it. I haven't asked her yet, Pranic. So I have, I do want her to be able to go with me. We've got Mother's Day this weekend, but, maybe she could go Saturday or something if we go up there. I don't know what all we have planned. we got a big Sunday planned with all the mothers and grandmothers and great grandmothers and all that stuff. So anyway, we're having a big shindig. Hello, Turkey's Opinion. How are you, buddy? He says, hello, Big J in chat. Being particular is not OCD. I agree. I mean, it looks like dog shit to me. It just bugs the crap out of me. I'm just like, damn. You know, it's just, I mean, it's a great gun. I've shot it. I think I've got my book. I haven't looked at it in forever. I think the last time, and this is a total guess, I'll say what it is when I find out, when I look in the book, because I have books for each one of my guns, those little flip books for round counts. I want to say I've got like 250 rounds, something like that, 225 rounds of 5.7 through it, and so far it's been perfect. G23 is in the house. Yep, y'all get those trolls. But yeah, we got 31 people in, 22 thumbs up. I appreciate the thumbs up very much. But yeah, you know, if y'all didn't see it before, I opened those 3 knives, the Tiger knives. So I think they're pretty cool. I'm just so you know this, I'll probably do a giveaway on one of them. You know, like on a live, I'll probably just do a giveaway. You know, like I said, they sent them in to me. I did not pay for them. Once I do the testing on it, so it might have some scratches on it. It might have, you know, pocket wear, but you know, because I do test stuff. I don't just, you know, say, oh, I tested it. I mean, y'all know me by now, hopefully. But I probably will do a giveaway on one of the lives, and it might be a surprise. So, you know, it could be the one maybe you miss or the one you tune into. But after we do some testing on them and I kind of give final thoughts on them, I'll probably just give one of them away to one of my live watchers. Not, I won't do a video and say I'm doing a giveaway, so I get all the giveaway whores tuning into that video. I want to give it to a loyal person. So we will probably do that. Also, I am, now that I'm kind of getting back in the groove, I'm probably going to go through some of the dots and go through the box of dots, and I probably will start giving some dots away. I've got some Sealy's and stuff like that. So if it's not on a gun, I probably will do some giveaways on those. Again, on a live chat, not going to announce it to people so they come in and whore it out. It'll be to some loyal followers. So if y'all aren't subscribed and you want to potentially win something, subscribe. That's cool. But yeah, I'm going to start cleaning out some stuff. I've got too much shit. Also, I am going to be setting up before the accident. I'll get this off here real quick so you can see it. Hang on. I've got all the gear in, and I got it in before the accident, but I'm going to be setting up a new battle belt. This is in the desert, whatever it's called, Arctic or whatever. I'm going to be setting up a new, this is the Blue Alpha gear. This is their newer belt with this buckle. So I'm going to be setting that up. I've got all the parts in for it, you know, the pouches, the holster keeper, you know, all that stuff. So I probably won't run a first aid kit on the back of this one because I've got it on my other battle belts. But, you know, because they're kind of a pain in the ass to take off and put on. I always have one in the truck, but anyway, I'm going to be setting up this battle belt with all the goodies. I just haven't done it because I've been, you know, kind of out of whack for a while. But anyway, and I've worked with Blue Alpha gear for many years, so I do like their products. And Core as well, y'all know that. So we will start setting that up. Testing a Gideon optic now on a stiffer manufactured slide. Gideon optics are good. The ones I've tested are. Oh, and I did find out one. I thought it was malfunctioning. It was their Gideon optics. It was like the SRO clone. And I thought it was malfunctioning. And I even said it in the video. But it has a 10-hour time delay. So if it's past 10 hours, it kicks off automatically. because I was pulling it out of the safe, and I'm like, this son of a bitch is off. So I was turning it back on, and I thought it was a defect. It was not, but I did give that to Trigger Bar. So I sent it to him, and after I gave it to him, then I found out. But the reason I also gave it to him, it didn't have the single dot. It had the circle dot only. The big, I guess, the donut of death. And I don't like those. I like a dot. So, and he likes those. That's one reason I gave it to him. And he's a loyal subscriber, and hell, he's a channel member too. So I wanted him to have that one. DC is saying P10F or P09 Nocturne for home defense. Here's where you get in where we were talking about earlier. You get into striker fire or double action, single action. Which do you feel more confident with? I recommend everybody, if you already have striker fire guns, I recommend everybody have a double action, single action gun to learn that trigger group. You can't go wrong with either gun. If you got both of them, the mags are compatible. The P10F and the P09 Nocturne, the mags are the same. So you can run them in either or. But it depends on if you want a striker fire or if you want a double action, single action. Also with those, your Nocturne is a direct mount for your RMSC. If you get the PO or the P10F with the optic cut, you have to get a plate, and then you can get a full-size optic or whatever you want. So it really comes down to what you enjoy. They both, I have the P09, I don't have the Nocturne, but I have two P09s. They shoot great. I like them a lot. I love my P10F also. It shoots great. So it really comes down to which one you want, or which one you would want to shoot or shoot better for you. I would say the more ergonomic gun would be the P10F over the P09. However, I shoot both of them good. So it really comes down to what you want. They both have rails. You can put lights on both of them. I have a soft spot in my heart for double action, single action. If you're going to carry it, you have the double strike capability, and also for home defense. If you pull the trigger and it goes click, you don't have to re-rack it. You just pull it again and it goes bang. Or if it doesn't go bang, you rack it out, get another round in there, of course. Where the striker fire, you have to rack the gun out. You can't, it doesn't have double strike capability. So, there's benefits of that too. Also, when you're loading into the holster, you put your thumb on the back of the hammer and you load it in there. If anything starts kicking that hammer back, something's hitting the trigger. So pull it out, assess, and then go from there. So there is a safety or more safer aspect to a double action, single action over a striker fire for many. So it really comes down to what you like. There's not a wrong or a right with either one of those. Donnie Cluck says, I love me some core belts. Core belts are great. I love them. I run them too. And I do like Blue Alpha as well. He is the channel member. Yeah. I have a few single action, double action pistols and 40. Yeah, that's cool. I got rid of 40 a long, long time ago. Nothing against it. I just got out of the 40 game a long time ago. Not hating on anybody who has it. I used to have like 8 or 10 40 calibers way back in the day. DC says single action triggers just seem more accurate. Well, neither one of those are single action. Well, of course it's double action, single action. So it would be double action on your first shot, and then it goes into single action. Yes, it is lighter. Once you get the P09 or P07 or Nocturne worn in, after about 300 rounds, the trigger goes to about 3 pounds, 2 ounces. That's what mine are at. So it is light. You do have a lot of take up. It's not a true like 1911 trigger. You do have a lot of take up, but it is very, very light. So Taylor Brown says, did you see the cloud defense issues? I've heard rumors, But Cloud came out and said there's not any issues because I think y'all know this. I put money down on that ELP Lite. I mean, excuse me, I didn't put money down. I've already paid them for the ELP. I did the pre-order the first night it was available, or first day it was available. I think it was on a Saturday. So I've already pre-ordered it. It's not going to be out till summer of 2025 or something is what they're saying. So I don't know. Hopefully I don't get screwed on that deal, but is there something new that's came out on Cloud Defense? Because I just got an email today from them, and it was a text. I'm sorry, and it was like, we're still on schedule for the ELP, blah blah blah. Sold all my 40 Smith & Wessons for 30 super carry. I know you're lying. I know you're lying. Yeah, it says they're pushing the pre-orders hard right now. Yeah. They are. Again, I got that text today and it said, hey, do you want to pre-order? Because it doesn't know I already did. But yeah, I already prepaid for it. Anytime you're pushing pre-orders hard and it's not a labor-intensive custom item, I'm skeptical. I know. Hopefully I don't get scammed for freaking 200 and whatever it was, $274. But, I've already paid it. They've already taken my money, so hopefully I get it. But yeah, it's 8:05. We'll go for a little bit longer. If y'all got any questions, we got 32 people in the chat, 22 thumbs up. So y'all smack that thumbs up. Nothing new, just the same info about them firing a lot of people and engineers, bad owners, and down to 15 employees. Yeah, and supposedly, this is the other side of the coin. I don't know. Supposedly, Cloud Defense came with an answer for that, saying that that wasn't true. Maybe they had to clean house on some people. I don't know. G23 is saying, hitting the thumbs up, y'all. It's free and it helps the channel. Yes, it does. Wendingo says, carry a 500 Smith & Wesson like the Lord intended. Yeah, well, carry a 45 because they don't make a 46. Yeah, exactly, Harry. There's always two sides and then the truth. I mean, I carried 45s forever. Man, my wife and I were talking about that because she remembered the 1911s. I had an Ed Brown and a Les Baer, and she remembers those. And what's funny is she actually asked me, she said, where's that one? She remembered the gun because it had tooling on it. That was my Les Baer. She said, where's that gun that had all the etching is what she called it, but it's the scroll tooling or whatever, and or etching. And I said, I sold that a long time ago. And she's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you did. She doesn't keep up with my crap. Like I don't keep up with her purses and shoes. But anyway, but it was funny that she said that. So, but yeah, I carried 45 for, man, probably 12 years or so, maybe longer. I mean, I've still carried it, like in this year, but I meant like almost every day. So, but I still love me a 45. Still love me a 45. And I still own them. No, not 45 Gap. That was the stupidest shit they ever came out with. G23 says I carry different calibers from 380 to 50 AE. Damn, I don't carry a 50 AE. Clyde Cumberland says I still carry my Shield 45 as a store run piece. Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with that. I mean, like I said, I still love 45. I mean, there's nothing like 230 grains of hate. So it would definitely mess up somebody's life. So, yeah, and I mean, this whole caliber debate stuff, I've pretty much, for like, other than if I was just running to the store or just something like that, but I really won't carry anything below a 9 now for like EDC. I just won't carry anything below a 9. That's just me because a lot of the 380s are really small, and for appendix, I can't grab them. They're just too damn small. So that's why I don't have any like tiny guns. So, and what's funny is even with the Shadow systems, I've still been practicing, appendix carry with it and stuff, and grabbing it, especially when I was hurt, or more so. I was doing a lot of dry fire with it and stuff like that. But that it doesn't bother me. I can actually grab that one where I couldn't grab the SIG, so, or the original 365, of course. It was just too small. So I'm really actually liking that CR920 XP. It's pretty surprising for what it is. I know it's not a cheap gun, but I'm enjoying it, and I have as of right now, this past, I think I've got 1100. I think it's 1180 rounds through it. After this last session, because it was 1060 before I started, and I put quite a few through it that day. But anyway, it seems to work fine for me. And in the video that y'all saw, I was shooting 115. It shoots it fine. Let's see here. Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier, the 5.7. I own a 5.7. Actually, I like 5.7. I would carry a 5.7. So I guess I need to rephrase that. I would carry a 5.7. I would. So I said nothing below a 9, but I would carry a 5.7. Because you got a lot of firepower on tap. I mean, a lot. Now, granted, it's smaller holes, but you got a ton of capacity. So, and that thing is loud, so you start popping that off, you're going to notice it. Taylor Brown said, you mentioned Voodoo last week. According to the info, I believe the new owners fired everyone, and it's moving the company, and its owners are prioritizing quality over quantity. Yeah, I saw that, or I even mentioned it last time, that they said they were moving to Oklahoma. I don't know if that's true, but right now, supposedly you can't find them anywhere, and a lot of the dealers, like Skips Guns and stuff like that, can't find them. I don't know if that's changed. I haven't seen an update, so I don't know. I'd carry a 7.5. Yeah, no, I was gonna say that's legit. Wendigo says, any experience with Cajun Gunworks? Yes, I do have experience with them. Since I've dealt with both companies, I actually prefer, and nothing against Cajun Gunworks, I'm not bad mouthing them, but I actually prefer Impact Machine over Cajun Gunworks. You can get the exact same work done, the exact same kits, trigger kits, and everything. And I actually prefer Impact Machine over Cajun Gunworks. That's just a personal thing. I'm not hating on them. I'm not trying to steer people away from them or anything like that. That's just personal experience. And I don't make any money on it, but if you want to use Impact Machine for custom builds, trigger kits, plates, whatever, you can use BJGG10. That saves you 10%. I don't make a dime, but you know, anything you want to do, you can send your gun to them. They do milling, they do everything. A lot faster turnaround. The work, I've had 2 guns done by Impact Machine. I had 2 guns done by Cajun Gunworks, and the work done and the quality was better with Impact Machine. And there's a story, but I'm not going to say it. It's not my business to say it. Carly says, training perfect practice matters more to me than the caliber debate. If 9mm or 45 auto can't take care of life or death situations, something is seriously wrong. I agree with that. I mean, it comes down to target placement. We all know that. Totally agree with that. I really think my wife is going to enjoy the 5.7 a lot. I think she's really going to like it. But that's why I'm just going to hand it to her, get her ready, have her shoot it, and then have her give me her opinion. I'm not going to try to lean her towards it or anything like that. I'm just going to say, shoot this, tell me your opinion. Because what I want to do is, and she's not in here or anything, she can't hear me, but what I want to do is see if the first thing she gets that bang, you know, because 5.7 is louder, see if it's going to scare her or if she's just going to keep on going. Carly says people need to focus on themselves and what they carry than what others are doing. We are the ones carrying your handguns. Pick what works for you and practice. Practice, practice, practice. I totally agree with that. Yep, I've told people, don't go by influencers, don't do all this other shit. You know, what works for you may not work for somebody else, but don't just buy something because somebody tells you to buy it. I mean, I've been told, oh, you got to buy this, or this is the best thing since sliced bread. And I shoot it and it's complete dog shit. So I don't tell people what to do. Wendigo says a ton of capacity and it's flat shooting. Beginners, in my experience, love the lower recoil. Exactly. And like I said, my wife loves the 22 and she shoots a 9 and she shoots it pretty good, but she just, it's more recoil. She doesn't like it. And that's why I was like, I got to get a 5.7 because I think she's really going to enjoy it. And I like a 5.7. They're just fun. Lynn Holt says, I regularly carry appendix and a full-size 44-ounce 45 ACP. The right holster and belt are required. It's balanced with that size. Correct. I've always said that. If you're going to carry a big gun, even if it's a Glock 34 or a heavy gun, like a 1911, you got to have the correct belt and the correct holster. If you're just carrying a freaking Uncle Mike's with a bullshit, dress belt, it's going to carry like dog shit. So you're not going to be happy. Joseph says, I was told MJD, oops, where'd it go? I don't know where that went. Oh, there it is. I was told MJD is regarded as making the best 2011 polymer style grip. Is that true? And what do you think of polymer 2011 grip modules versus steel? I don't know who MJD is. Maybe I just don't know the term. I'm sorry. But here's the thing that's going to happen, and I've got steel and I've got polymer 2011s. With polymer, it's going to absorb recoil, absorb felt recoil, just like a polymer pistol will. So you're shooting it rapidly, it's going to absorb it, it's going to basically it's going to disperse the energy throughout the grip. You shoot an aluminum grip or a steel grip, you're going to feel it more. Does that turn me off to either one? No. If you're shooting rapid, sometimes polymer can be better. I do like, if it is a steel or aluminum, I do like super aggressiveness. I don't like slick shit because it's going to move around. I can shoot either or and own either or. I've got 4 2011s, 2 are polymer, 2 are steel or alloy. Do I prefer one over the other? Not really. If I were going to carry it every day, I would prefer polymer, just for weight. But I think they're both great. You will get more, if you're recoil sensitive, you will get more absorbed recoil with a polymer one. Donnie Cluck says, love Cajun and also love Impact Machine. Follow Big J to Impact Machine. And as well Fire for Effect until they closed up shop. Yeah, Fire for Effect was awesome. But here's the thing also, which I can appreciate. I loved Fire for Effect. I think I've had 3 or 4 guns done by them. I think 4, 5. Fire for Effect did incredible work, and I love those guys. But they did close up shop. Well, Impact Machine bought some of their little patents that they did, and he's doing some of the same cuts, so they're good. That's another reason I appreciate it. Has your wife shot a PCC or a Flux Raider chassis in 9mm? No, she has not. She has shot an AR. It's loud to her. She can handle it, but it's very loud. No, take that back. I take that back. She did shoot my American Resistance PCC, which is an AR 16-inch, 9mm, and she liked it. So it wasn't as loud as the AR-15, and she liked it and shot it good. I mean, from 15 yards, I think they were about like that big. And that's good. I mean, I'm sizing it up here. So, and she enjoyed it, but she hasn't shot any, super small ones or anything like that. So doesn't have any experience with that. No Flux Raiders. She has not shot my Recover Tactical Glock or anything like that. I'll ask her to shoot it. I'm sure she will, but she doesn't have any experience with that yet. So, but it's 8:19. If you ever got any more questions, ask away. We'll stay on till about 8:30. And then also, if you're interested in anything, or you have questions afterwards, of course, leave them. I'll try to answer them as quick as possible. Um, but again, going back, I just want to rephrase. Do I think the Shadow 2 Carry would be a good option for a lot of people? Yes. Um, would I suggest the Shadow 2 Compact for a lot of people? Yes. If you do not like manually decocking it to carry it, buy the Carry version. Is the trigger as good? No. Um, but is it better than a P01? Yes. Is the frame better than a P01? Yes. And I've owned the P01 too. Matter of fact, Donnie has it. I sold him my P01 way back when. He's tricked it all out. What I like about the Shadow 2 frame over the P01 is the ergonomics. I like the beaver tail. It's just more ergonomic for a bigger handed person, I feel. And there's more accessories for it than a P01 now. Lock's got the Magwell and stuff like that. They have tons of grips for P01, so I'm not saying they're bad guns. I just hate the curved trigger on a P01. And I cannot shoot the Omega because the decocker's too low and it punches into my hand right here, and I hate it. It drives me crazy. I cannot shoot the P01 Omega at all. I despise it. So that's just a personal opinion from Big Hands. Kel-Tec 5.7 would be a good PCC option if you've got a 5.7 pistol, 16, yeah. I always, and that's Harry and I have talked about this. I think Kel-Tec should have made the CP33 in a 5.7. I think that would be pretty badass. But I do want her to shoot the CP33 because I love that little thing. It's freaking fun. Now, I've tricked it out and done a bunch of stuff to it, but I really, really enjoy that. It's a fun, fun gun. But when I load up to the full capacity, I'm just going to say that because you know how YouTube is. But when I load up to full capacity, when I rack it, it never picks up the first round. And then people were like, well, have you, put less ammo in the mags and tried it that way? And I haven't. I always load them to full pop. So I need to put like 30 in it, see if it'll pick up the first round. I need to try that and experiment with it. Because if I download it to 30 or something like that, that may work better for picking up that first round. I just haven't tried it yet. So I do need to try that. But I think my wife would really think that was a fun little plinker because it's a fire. It'll throw some fire too. I've got video and thumbnails of it just slinging some fire. Stuff and Things makes an upgraded trigger group for the Kel-Tec PCC and 5.7. I don't know the price, but it definitely looks worth it. That's cool. Okay, bye, Terrence. We need to launch you. Somebody launch Terrence. No, we don't, Terrence. We don't do that kind of stuff, so you're in the wrong chat, buddy. So y'all can launch Terrence Smith. T23 or Ranger will take care of him pretty quick, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm, I do want to go to the range again. I'm going to try this weekend. I don't know if it's going to work because of Mother's Day, but if not, I'm definitely going to go sometime next week. So we'll get to do that. Again, I do want to shoot the 5.7. I want to shoot some 22s. And I'm going to make it a point to do this. I want to shoot 300 Blackout. I want to shoot shorty ARs. I want to do some rifle stuff too, or PDW, whatever the term you want to use. So, I definitely want to do that too. Yeah, good. Y'all are on him. Thanks, Ranger. Yeah, we don't need that stuff. Sorry, we got some trolls in here. I know y'all get tired of messing with them. I do too. But trying to think if I forgot anything. Oh, and I've had people, because I was talking about them earlier, I've had people ask, would I buy a Les Baer 45 or would I buy an Ed Brown 45 currently? And my answer to that would be Ed Brown. if I had to buy one of them. Um, Over those for the price point, it's still hard to go against Dan Wesson. Um, they're great guns, but for a 45. So, if you're wanting a 1911. And it's kind of crazy, and I know that y'all know this too, but there's just not many 2011s anymore that are made in 45. I know there's a few options, but some of them I would not recommend unless you send it to Hayes Customs and have them completely go through it to bulletproof it. But um, I would probably still like to have a 45 2011 if I could find the right one, like an old STI, or excuse me, an old Staccato. They did make one. They don't anymore, but they did make one back in the day, and then I would just have it milled, for a dot. So I think that would be fun because I do love me some 45. Yeah, old STI had them. Yep. I have an STI 45 that I've modernized, but it's a single stack. It's not a double stack. Yeah, they had oh gosh, what were they called? They had the one with the island barrel. I can't remember the damn names of them. Yeah, Para Ordnance. Yep. Oh, did Kimber come out with a 2011 and 45? I didn't know they did. Maybe I did read that. Yeah, Lynn, maybe they did. Because I thought they were thinking about coming out with one. I haven't officially seen one. Not saying they don't make it. I just haven't seen one yet. And I know Kimber's came a long way from what they were before. A lot of people are really liking them. I mean, everything I'm seeing and the people that I know that own them really like the newer ones. Said that they work well. And the price point's not bad. And then I think they've even lowered prices on a lot of the Kimbers. I've seen them on some of the deal pages, and I think they've lowered some of the prices. Hello, Floridian. How are you? Yeah, something like that. 13 round standard mags. That's cool. Yeah, I still love me a 45. I know a lot of people don't, but I think they're fun. And I've got a ton of 45 ammo. A ton. I've got 180 grain. I've got 230 grain of FMJ. I've got a lot of HST, 230 grain. What else do I have? I've got like I think they're like spun copper 165s, self-defense rounds. But yeah, I like a 45. And my STI shoots really good. It's just a single stack, so I can hold 10 rounds, or 10 plus 1. Because I do run the Wilson Combat Extended Mags, or, the plus 2s. So I can run 11, 10 plus 1 of 230 grains of hate. Let's see here. Oh, I did get some wedges that I'm going to be trying on some holsters. I ordered these. These are off Amazon, but they're kind of the ones that I've been looking for, and I had a recommendation from Armsman. So I bought these, and I've got 2 of them. I'm going to stick them on some holsters and see what I think about them. They're not expensive, but we'll see what I think about them. But it is 8:28. We got a couple of minutes. If y'all can think of anything within a couple of minutes, we'll get it answered. Big old water cup. Finish that whiskey. I probably should have got an extra shot. I think that was 3 shots. That's some good stuff. I love Buffalo Trace. But anything y'all can think about, if y'all are interested in those knives, I'll leave a link afterwards if you want to buy them. You can get them on Tiger's website or on Amazon. I think for the price, from what I'm seeing so far in the lineup of the blade and the bearing and the way it feels and the weight, I don't really think you can go wrong. The G10 material feels really nice. The 159 on the Cybertruck version that kind of looks like a Cybertruck, it's a little too small for me, I'm just going to be honest, but I still think it's pretty cool, being titanium, but it is $160 too, so that's something to consider. Lynn Holt says, go check out Kings River Customs. I may have to get one in the future. The FCC model is unique. That's cool. I haven't heard of them. Kings River Customs. Kings River Customs. I'll check them out. But yeah, I'll check those out. Also, there is a gun that Threat Cadre is checking out, and right now it's only available to LEOs, but they are going to open it up for civilians too. But it's a 2011, and it looks pretty cool. He's got it on one of his short videos. Y'all can check it out, but I think it's pretty cool looking, and it's optic ready and all that other stuff. Pranic says, great chat and good night all. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you as always. I appreciate all of y'all. But it is 8:30. We will go ahead and shut this bad boy down. And like I've been saying, you know, if you haven't reached out to, if you got someone you hadn't talked to in a long time in your family, please reach out, a friend, relative, anything like that. Reach out, let them know you care, check on them. You know, people are going through weird things right now, so we want to make sure everybody's okay. And of course, we want you to carry and be safe. And you know, we will do this again next Wednesday. I appreciate y'all so much. If y'all have any questions, comments, anything like that, please leave it afterwards. I'll be glad to answer it. And, you know, you guys and ladies are awesome. Appreciate y'all so much. Definitely family. Definitely family. So we like to keep it tight here. But I will be doing some giveaways on the live chats like we talked about earlier. So stay tuned. It could be the chat that you might be on or that you might have missed. But I'm going to start going through boxes, and we're going to start getting some stuff up. I'll pay shipping to get it to you, and we're just going to start giving some of this stuff away. So I'm thinking about knives, optics. You know, I've got some holsters, but we'll give away some good stuff. I'm not going to give away junk. Nobody wants junk. So, but I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all have a wonderful night, and remember, an unarmed nation's a very weak nation. So we all got to carry on. Thanks, everyone. Y'all take care.